What's going on, everyone? It's a Week 16 props edition of Forward Progress here on the Forward Progress YouTube channel, part of the Hammer Betting Network. I'm your host, Jason Cooper, alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Hitman. Hitman, you texted me last night. You said, hey, I want to do it at 10:30, and then you're like, no, we need to do it at 11. So tell me what the reason was. Were you big on Joshua and you had a little bit of a fun night, or what were you doing last night?
Yeah, I stayed up for it. I had a decent sized bet on it. Not as much as flop, but decent sized bet. But no, there's really just no reason. I just said, well, let's go to 11. I got nothing to do today. No golf, so let's just go at 11.
All right, awesome stuff. So we're at 11. We're live right now, and hopefully you guys are tuning in. If you're watching live right now, do us a favor, smash the like button. It goes a long way here on the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, hit the subscribe button. How this works if you're new here, Hitman is going to share 2 props this week. Then after we share the 2 props, it's simple. You're going to drop questions in the chat. We're going to go through all those questions. We're going to answer them. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Let's give some time for people. Sorry, a little under the way. Let's give some time for people to filter in here. Before we do that, I just want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at FanDuel. 'Tis the season to be boosting on FanDuel because this year you're getting 7 straight days of holiday rewards, each one waiting in the app for you to unwrap. Every day brings a new way to play, so keep checking in to see what drops next. And it all leads to the Christmas Day special where you can get something extra special. 7 days of gifts, one big finale. Your holiday football just got a whole lot brighter. Head over to FanDuel.com/forward progress to get in on the holiday spirit. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas and affiliation, Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/Shine, Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. All right. We're giving you some time to filter in. People are here. They're already asking questions in the chat. Hey, man, do we want to just start things off with the first game and you'll talk us through it?
Yeah, we're going to the Broncos game.
One sec. I need to find it. Hold on. There it is.
We're going to receiving props. Yards. And we're going to go with Pat Bryant over receiving yards.
Pat Bryant over 33.5 minus 114.
Yeah.
Talk us through it.
So Pat Bryant opened like 5 yards less than Troy Franklin, which was absolutely freaking insane. And unfortunately, the Troy Franklin lines have been bet under like 10 yards from the openers since they opened. But I thought that Pat Bryant probably should have opened maybe in like that 36, 37, 38 range. He's been ahead of Troy Franklin on the depth chart. He's the clear wide receiver too, in my opinion. I don't think that there's any health concerns with him. Sean Payton mentioned that if it was a playoff game last week that he would have played. So I think that he is 100% for this game. He's received 17 targets in the last 3 games. His snap counts just keep going up. He's the prototypical big receiver. Sean Payton talked a lot about how he likes big receivers, and he's the big receiver at Sean Payton. Has liked historically. The Jaguars defense, opposing teams this season have the second highest pass rate over expectation when they face the Jaguars, and the Broncos the last 4 weeks sneakily had the 3rd highest pass rate over expectation. A lot of that has coincided with the J.K. Dobbins injury. So we just got kind of a perfect storm over here with Pat Bryant ascending, the Jags being a team that teams want to throw against, and the Broncos wanting to throw in the past few weeks.
Yeah, and I know that the a lot of the people on the Forward Progress Best Bet show here, we're talking a lot about how they like this game as an over game. They expect a lot of points here, so a lot of throwing the ball here for the Denver Broncos could be good. No, not a bad coffee. Guys, I'm telling you, my throat is actually killing me, so it hurts to swallow anything. I'm trying to get this.
Well, good. I'll carry us as usual, Jason.
All right, sounds good. Hey, man. All right. First prop out of the way. Quick reminder for those who missed it. It was Pat Bryant over 33.5 receiving yards. You can find that pretty widely available. There's a 31.5 out there. Don't know how much you can bet on it, but there's numbers out there that are pretty available. All right. Hitman, next one. Talk us through it.
Buccaneers game. We're going to go to pass attempts. And we are going to go with Baker Mayfield under 31.5 pass attempts minus 108. I expect play volume just to be down in this game in general. Carolina has been a run funnel defense, and offensively, they've been a team that's just been running the ball so much that play volume in their games has been down. Carolina, I don't think it's going to change this week. I know some teams you like to attack Tampa through the air typically, but Canales talked about like them sticking to what they do good and all that, despite what Tampa does. So I do think that it could be a run-heavy game from both teams, which is going to keep the clock moving. Baker was throwing. They've been really low on pass rate over expectation, and last week was a little bit different, where they did throw a little bit more. But a lot of those throws with their first game with Evans back were downfield, which isn't as bad towards the pass attempts market as like if he was just throwing a lot of short passes and everything. Like it could be a game where Baker can theoretically go over yards but go under on pass attempts. So yeah, we're gonna go with Baker under pass attempts.
All right, Baker under pass attempts 31.5 minus 108. Looking for some chunk gains is what you're looking for there. And I see a lot of questions in the chat. Hopefully, both
put the questions up and I read them, Jason. It's up to you.
I'll dig through it. I can handle it. I can handle it.
Right.
First question is coming from G Stack George. He said, "What's your favorite incentive look this weekend?"
Well, listen, I tend to stay away from drama on Twitter. I don't tweet much. I'm not nasty to people on Twitter typically, but if you're posting that incentive shit in week 16, you are just blatantly just misleading people to get clicks. So if you're going to be nasty if you're going to write a mean comment to anyone on Twitter, the people doing that, it's just a nut low. So it's embarrassing.
Yeah. It's funny because the buddy was probably saving them for week 18, whatever his name is. And then someone else came out with an incentive thread and it blew up everything.
It's the term race to the bottom has just never, it's defined. That whole sequence defines it.
All right. Next is John Smith here asking, what do you expect Josh Jacobs' workload to be this week?
Typically in these must-win games for Green Bay, they freaking love Josh Jacobs and they ride the hell out of him whenever, and the other running back doesn't get much usage. With that said, there's reports like Jacobs was on crutches after the game against the Broncos, and like if he plays, it's just a pure gutting it out. It's a tough one. I kind of want to lean on that. I kind of would lean unders if like in the low 60s, but if they ever open that way. But I don't know. We'll have to see because there's two different ways you can look at it. You can look at Green Bay rides Jacobs in big games, or you can look at that this guy is just not healthy. So it's an interesting one.
If you like the under 66.5 right now at FanDuel is probably your best look on the under. Market's paid more towards the 63, 61.5 range. So FanDuel a little higher than market there. So if you like the under, you're going to want to take it over at FanDuel. Lights out asking Barkley over 98.5 rushing, receiving minus 115.
If that's an incentive play, because I know one of the incentives.
I saw that as well
as an over. And he gave it out because he needs to like average that to get his incentive. If incentive's part of your handicap, no, please don't bet that. But yeah, I don't got much of an opinion on it, to be honest.
This might be like a pick-me-up game for the Philadelphia Eagles here against like a
question that he asked after with Brenton Strange over. Yeah, I would lean Strange over. I could see that. I could see Jacksonville being pass heavier than people think. A lot of people at our network like the over in that game. I don't hate it.
All right. Moving on to Carl Felice. He's asking, I was looking at 8 chains over. Market is moving against it. Can someone explain the move?
I guess theoretically, like just in the low 80s, it's a high number when, yes, you are playing a terrible run defense, but you're also 4.5 point underdogs. And with Quinn Ewers, there is a chance that he's just terrible. And if he is terrible, then you just don't, even though you're going to be run heavier with a bad quarterback, you just don't sustain offense and sustain drives, and you could theoretically get behind. So I would guess that that's probably the reason. Also, I mean, Miami is eliminated from playoff contention now. I think the game against Pittsburgh was the final nail in the coffin. So I always get nervous about, like, do they really ride him out fully with nothing to play for? Like, of course he's going to get the majority of touches and everything, but is he really, do they work in another guy once they're out of playoff contention? So that would maybe be my hesitance on it.
All right. Insight asking, Rico Dowdle has 7 touchdowns on the season and earns $250K bonus with 1 more. Buffalo's Khalil Shakir sits at 4 TDs and triggers. This guy's just getting trolled by
Insight, I think, is just busting chops on these.
He's trolling. He's trolling.
Listen, I'll say, we're going to talk about this when week 18 comes. I'm sure more, but like some of this incentive stuff, like, is good. Like when you're, it's just about being able to decipher what's well, right now it's not good, but like once week 18 comes,
yes.
Like if you can decipher it, like even if the line's adjusted, sometimes this stuff is good. It's just about being able to decipher what's garbage and what's not. But yeah, any of the week 16 stuff is garbage.
All right. I just had a big Ron Burgundy moment there. Just read what's on the teleprompter. My question though is, when did this incentive stuff start? Did it or become mainstream, popularized with like people, the common people we'll call it? Is it from that Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski video where, like, do you remember that video? I think it came out in like 2020, 2021.
I had money on that for Gronk to get to that reception. No, it felt like a year or two before. It felt like, honestly, it just feels like once legalized gambling became popular, like legalized gambling started in 2018. I want to say like 2020, 2021 is when like just mainstream people started picking up on the incentive stuff. And like before gambling, or in the very beginning stages of gambling, like 2018, not many people, it wasn't talked about as much. So like there wasn't like this edge was just for people that were really just paying attention. Whereas now it's like, what knowledge for all is knowledge for none, when it comes to something like that, because if everybody knows about an edge, then it's going to be priced in. But back in the day, it wasn't. So, but there's still opportunities in it once week 18 comes. Just got to be able to pick and choose.
All right. Up next, TX Supreme asking how much money you want on Anthony Joshua.
Very low 5 figures. Very low 5 figures. So you can figure out how much I risked based off what the average prices were. So it was a decent. There was a lot of people that that were betting a lot more than me, and I just said, you know what? I don't know. I like it. I'm going to bet a good amount, but I don't know if I have the balls to do like what Flop did. So
yeah. I'm kicking myself because on the show all week I talked about like the over 2.5, and like in hindsight, obviously it was a great bet. But at one point at FanDuel, you can get the over 2.5 and Anthony Joshua at plus 100, which is like, looking back at it now, that was the number to click. Anyways, I'm a little sad because I obviously could only get down so much, and feels like I wish I just bet way more. All right, let's talk about the Packers move. Nicholas Douglas asking, any reason for the Packers move from +2 to +1? Someone with a lot of money likes the Packers. I think that's pretty much it. No.
Yeah, and I mean, I made that game around pick'em. Like, I didn't bet the +2 because again, it's not me to bet into 100K markets at sharp books. If I make it pick'em, whatever. But yeah, that's why I made it. So maybe someone agrees, and maybe it closes around there. Like, especially if Jacobs gets ruled in or something, and Watson gets ruled in, which I expect. So yeah.
All right. F. Smith asking Dallas Goedert over 39.5 receiving yards, -115.
Yeah, unfortunately, I really don't have much thoughts on the Philly stuff other than leaning towards Hurts rush yards over.
All right. You mentioned Hurts rush yards over. There it is. Dupe, question answered for you there.
Lean over. Yep.
feel gnarly. Isaiah Bond over 15.5 minus 114.
Yeah, Bond's a guy that I've been fading a lot, to be honest
Mm.
with you. I know I kind of think that Cedric Tillman gets back involved this week. I know he only played 6 snaps last week, and I guess a lot of that was because he was coming back from the concussion, and he didn't practice, so they didn't play him much. Kind of think that Tillman is the wide receiver too, and then Bond is just in a 3-man rotation with Malachi Corley and Gage Lavardin, or however you say it. So yeah, I kind of lean under, to be honest.
All right, lean under there. Michael Carter over 51.5 rushing yards. Guy who was cut from the team 6-7 weeks ago, and now he's
another guy. I'd say I lean under on him. I know he is going to start, and Gannon said that, but I mean, Demicardo was effective, and now he's off the injury report. So I guess I would lean under on Carter.
All right, Jalen Coker over 39.5 receiving yards from MD the Dream.
Yeah, legit, no opinion. I'm sorry.
All right, this is like more of a holistic question.
But I do think that like Carolina is gonna try to. I know, like, people, again, I mentioned with the Baker prop, like, people talk about Tampa like being a pass funnel and everything. I do think Carolina is gonna try to stick to running the ball as long as they can. So just subjectively, just with that, I don't love it.
All right. Holistic question coming from Garrett Price. Like, how do teams, for teams that are eliminated, are there specific areas or teams that will play starters less and give more time to younger players? And where do you think that would happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be the Chiefs this week. It's just, it's tough to say, like even for like a Travis Kelce, like I think that Kelce could get fed the rock a ton to finish his career, or like they could just use a lot of Noah Gray. And the other tight end that they have also give him some playing time. His name is I'm drawing a blank on his name, but they have a younger tight end as well behind Gray. But yeah, I could see it with a team like the Chiefs, and I could see it with some other teams too. But like the Chiefs, definitely a team that come to mind, and like maybe they get Brashard Smith or Royals involved as well.
All right.
Maybe it doesn't happen 3 weeks out though. Like it could happen week 18. Could be the week that like they really push that, But yeah.
All right. A couple more questions to get into, then we'll head out here. Do us a favor though before we do that. Before we get into those questions, smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. Double check. Make sure you're subscribed if you think you're subscribed. Because a lot of people who think they're subscribed actually aren't subscribed, and we're very close to 10,000 subscribers on this channel. So do us a huge favor. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you're going to be around your family this holiday season, I hope you are. I hope you enjoy your time. Take your mom's phone, take your dad's phone, take your brother's phone, take your sister's phone, and subscribe to Forward Progress on their phone as well. Let's get those subscribers numbers up, and let's hit 10K before the end of the season. Insight asking about Bo Nix over 235.5 passing yards.
Yeah, I'd lean over based off everything I said with the Bryant play.
All right. I assume this is Terry McLaurin under 55.5 minus 112.
I lean under on that.
All right. Travis Etienne over 2.5 receptions in a game.
Yeah, I mean, Tootin's out. Obviously, Tootin doesn't affect the pass game much. It's Allen is the pass catching back for them. But there was some talk that there's some talk that maybe Allen will play a little bit more on early downs now that Tootin is out. So maybe that leads to ETN playing a little bit more pass downs, maybe. So subjectively kind of would maybe lean over based off that.
All right, last two questions, then we're going to head out here. Insight asking about Evans over 57.5 receiving yards. If he averaged 214 receiving yards for
it could be an incentive play. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get 1,000 yards. So, yeah, I especially with the ADOT of the Bucks the last week. I know it doesn't make sense of like me saying Baker under pass attempts, but liking Evans over receiving. But especially with the ADOT that Evans had, like, yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense. I'm Big Mac. I didn't see your question. Sorry. I got a guy complaining about me.
Do I like any of the Bears running backs?
Bears running backs. Sorry.
It would be Monungai. I think Chicago's going to be run heavy. I would lean towards Monungai instead of Swift.
All right. I normally look for numbers when people ask questions because it's like it sticks out in the chat. If it's just like a wall of
Yeah.
text, it's hard to do that.
What's the
All
last
right.
one? The best side in total left on the board. Yeah. This isn't at FanDuel, but and honestly, I don't have the numbers right in front of me. But if I know a really sharp book moved to -2.5 on this, if you still see threes out on the Titans, I like the Titans.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, I'm looking right now. Like, there's some square books that even have like 3 -110 out there. Well,
Yeah.
there's a sharp book that has 2.5 -115 on the Chiefs right now. Yeah, I like the Titans.
All right. Dupe, we already answered that. Hurts over 27.5 rushing. We talked about it. Hitman lean over. And with the Titans stuff, Hitman, we talked about that on Friday on the Hammer Daily. We answered this guy's question. No, am I tripping?
Yeah, we did.
There we go. Okay. All right.
I lean over. Yep.
All right. There you go. You get your question answered twice instead of being skipped twice. And anyways, that wraps up things for today. Quick reminder, of course, as you guys know, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time, it's pizza buffet. Rob will go through the entire board one last time, try to parse through where the value still exists. You're going to want to check it out tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Turn on those notifications so you can be notified when we go live. Hitman, appreciate you joining us today. That wraps up today's show. This has been a Week 16 Props edition of Forward Progress here on the Forward Progress YouTube channel, part of the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. We will see you guys right here next week.